Hello, fellow travelers. Let's talk about that one part of the journey that can sometimes feel like a real chore: airport security. We've all been there, standing in a long, winding line, fumbling with our shoes and laptops, feeling that little bead of sweat as we hope we haven't forgotten something. It's a universal travel experience, but it doesn't have to be a stressful one. With just a little bit of know-how and some smart preparation, you can transform this potential headache into a smooth, predictable, and even quick part of your adventure. Think of it not as a barrier, but as the first simple step toward your amazing destination. The year is 2025, and while the spirit of travel remains timeless, the logistics are always evolving. The secret to a stress-free airport experience almost always begins the night before you travel. It's all about preparation. Start by getting your documents in order. Make sure your passport or ID is valid and hasn't expired. I like to keep my passport, boarding pass, and any other essential papers in a dedicated travel wallet or a specific, easy-to-reach pocket of my carry-on bag. In 2025, your smartphone is your best travel companion. Download your airline's app well before you leave for the airport. Check in online 24 hours in advance and get your boarding pass sent directly to your phone. I always take a screenshot of the QR code just in case I hit a spot with no Wi-Fi at the airport. Also, download maps of your destination for offline use, and have your hotel confirmation and transportation details saved. Think carefully about what you'll wear on travel day. Your goal is comfort and convenience. I recommend wearing slip-on shoes. Having to unlace and relace a complicated pair of boots holds up not only you but everyone behind you. Keep jewelry to a minimum, as chunky metal necklaces, bracelets, or big belt buckles can set off the metal detector. A simple watch is usually fine. Once you arrive at the security checkpoint, you're faced with a choice: which line to join. It's tempting to just hop in the shortest one, but that can be a mistake. Instead, take a moment to observe. I call this profiling the line. Look for lines filled with seasoned travelers. You can often spot them. They usually have minimal luggage, look organized, and are already preparing their items. Avoid lines with large groups that seem disorganized or families with lots of strollers and gear, as they naturally take a bit more time. If you travel even once or twice a year, I strongly encourage you to invest in a trusted traveler program like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. With PreCheck, you get access to a dedicated faster line where you typically don't have to remove your shoes, belt, light jacket, laptop, or liquids. Global Entry includes PreCheck benefits and also speeds you through U.S. Customs when you return from abroad. It is one of the best investments a traveler can make. As you approach the conveyor belt, get ready ahead of time. Don't wait until you're at the bins to start emptying your pockets. While you're still a few people back in line, slip your phone, keys, and wallet into your carry-on's front pocket. This simple act of preparing in advance keeps the line moving smoothly and signals to everyone that you're an efficient, considerate traveler. My final tip for the line is to watch the agents. Sometimes one screening lane might have a new trainee, or perhaps a machine is acting up, causing slowdowns. The contents of your carry-on bag can make or break your security experience. The most common cause of delays is improper packing, especially when it comes to liquids. The rule is simple, yet people forget it all the time. It's the 3-1-1 rule. Liquids, gels, and aerosols must be in containers of 3.4 ounces or less. All of these containers must fit inside one single clear, quart-sized zip-top bag. Keep this bag at the very top of your carry-on so you can pull it out easily and place it in a separate bin. Solid toiletries like bar soap, shampoo bars, and solid deodorant are your best friends here. They don't need to go in the bag at all. Electronics are another common point of confusion. As of 2025, the standard rule is that any electronic device larger than a cell phone needs to be removed from your bag and placed in a bin by itself. To make this easy, I pack my laptop in a sleeve, or in an easily accessible outer pocket of my backpack. This way, I can slide it out in seconds without having to unpack half my bag. Tangled cords and chargers can also create clutter on the X-ray screen, so I recommend using a small pouch to keep all your cables neatly organized. It's just as important to know what you absolutely cannot pack in your carry-on. Obvious items like firearms and explosives are forbidden, but many travelers get tripped up by less obvious things. Pocket knives, even small ones, are a no-go. Tools over 7 inches long are also prohibited. And be careful with sporting goods. Items like baseball bats, ski poles, and hockey sticks must be checked. If you have any doubt about an item, the TSA has a handy "What can I bring?" tool on their website. A quick search before you pack can save you from having to surrender an item you value. Travel in 2025 is wonderfully intertwined with technology, and the airport is no exception. Beyond the airline apps we've already talked about, there are other digital tools that can make your journey a whole lot smoother. Personally, I always use an app like FlightAware or FlightStats to track my flight status in real time. These apps often give you more up-to-the-minute information on delays, gate changes, or cancellations than the airport display boards do. Honestly, knowing about a gate change before the official announcement gives you a real head start, letting you walk calmly to the new gate while others are rushing. One major technological leap forward at many airports is the increasing use of biometrics. This means using your unique physical characteristics like your face or fingerprints to verify your identity. You might notice this at bag drop, the security checkpoint, or even the boarding gate. Instead of fumbling for your passport and boarding pass, you just look into a camera. This technology is designed to be both secure and incredibly fast. If you have the option to enroll, I highly recommend it. It's really a glimpse into the future of seamless travel. Another innovation you'll be seeing more of in 2025 are the new computed tomography, or CT, scanners at security checkpoints. These things are honestly a game changer. At airports that have this technology, you may no longer need to remove your liquids or your electronics from your carry-on bag. That eliminates the two biggest hassles of the security process. Now, the rollout is gradual, so you can't assume every airport will have them just yet. Always listen for instructions from the TSA agents, but be pleasantly surprised when you find yourself at one of these futuristic checkpoints. Traveling with children brings its own unique set of joys and challenges, especially at airport security. The good news is that the TSA has special procedures to make it easier. Children 12 and under can leave their shoes, light jackets, and headwear on. If you're traveling with formula, breast milk, or juice in quantities greater than the standard 3.4 ounces, that's perfectly fine. Just separate these items from your other liquids and inform the TSA agent. They will need to be screened separately, but you are absolutely allowed to bring them. A little preparation and communication go a long way in making the process smooth for the whole family. For my fellow frequent flyers, the key is to create a consistent, repeatable system. I have a dedicated travel uniform, comfortable clothes, and slip-on shoes I always wear on flight days. My carry-on is always packed in the exact same way, with my laptop, liquids bag, and electronics pouch in the same spots every time. This muscle memory means I can go through the security screening process on autopilot without any mental stress. And as I've said before, for frequent travelers, programs like TSA PreCheck or Clear are not luxuries. They are essential tools of the trade that save countless hours over the course of a year. Navigating security with medical devices or conditions requires a bit of extra planning, but it's very manageable. If you have a pacemaker, insulin pump, or other medical device, you can inform the TSA agent and request a pat-down instead of walking through the metal detector. Prescription medications in pill form are fine, but it's wise to keep them in their original labeled bottles. For liquid medications over 3.4 ounces, follow the same procedure as for baby formula. Declare them to the agent for separate screening. If you're carrying something unusual like cremated remains or a delicate musical instrument, it's always best to check the TSA website for specific guidelines beforehand. Knowing the rules for your specific situation removes uncertainty and allows you to approach the checkpoint with confidence. Even the most experienced travelers can make simple mistakes when they're in a hurry. One of the most common goofs I still see is forgetting about a water bottle in a side pocket of a backpack. We all know we need to stay hydrated, so we fill up a bottle before leaving home, and then it completely slips our minds. You'll be asked to step aside, empty it, and have your bag rescanned, which can be a frustrating delay over something so small. My trick is to always pack an empty, reusable water bottle. You can take it through security without any issue, and then fill it up at a water fountain near your gate. Another frequent mistake is what I call the pocket problem. People meticulously pack their carry-on bags but forget to empty their own pockets. It's so easy to leave behind a set of keys, some coins, or even a foil gum wrapper that will set off the metal detector. Before you even step up to the scanner, do a quick self-pat-down. Check all your pockets, pants, shirt, and jacket. It's a 2-second check that can prevent a 2-minute delay and a lot of unnecessary hassle. A surprising number of people also get caught with souvenir sabotage. You might buy a lovely snow globe on your trip, only to realize at the airport that it contains more than 3.4 ounces of liquid, so it's not allowed in your carry-on. If you plan on buying these types of souvenirs, be sure to either purchase them at a duty-free shop after security, or leave enough room in your checked luggage to pack them safely. Don't let a tasty jar of local honey end up in the disposal bin. As we journey through 2025, it's important to be aware of the subtle but significant shifts in security procedures. The most impactful change is the continued rollout of the new CT scanners. These machines are changing the very choreography of the security line. However, you cannot assume the airport you are flying from will have this new technology. My advice for 2025 is to be prepared for the old rules but hope for the new ones. Always arrive ready to take out laptops and liquids. Another area of focus for the TSA in 2025 is cybersecurity and digital identity. This means there's a greater emphasis on secure digital boarding passes and the use of biometrics. You may also notice that TSA agents seem to be putting more scrutiny on food items. While solid foods are generally permitted, dense or unusually packaged food items can sometimes require a second look because they can appear similar to other materials on the X-ray. If you are traveling with a large amount of food, it may be pulled for a quick additional screening. This isn't a ban on bringing food, but just be aware that it might add a minute or two to your screening. Packing food items near the top of your bag can help speed this up. Finally, there's a continued emphasis on a risk-based approach to security. This is the philosophy behind programs like TSA PreCheck. The system is designed to focus resources on higher risk or unknown passengers while expediting known, low-risk travelers. This is why having PreCheck is more advantageous than ever. It signals to the system that you are a trusted traveler, allowing you to pass through with minimal friction. For the average traveler, following all the rules, packing correctly, and being prepared is your best strategy. And there you have it. By putting these simple tips into practice, you can fundamentally change your relationship with airport security. It no longer needs to be a source of dread or anxiety. Instead, it can become a predictable, efficient, and even oddly satisfying part of your journey. A quick, smooth transition from the everyday world to the exciting world of travel. It all comes down to preparation, awareness, and having a positive mindset. You are in control. Think of the precious vacation minutes you'll save. That's more time to grab a relaxing coffee before your flight, more time to find the perfect book for the plane, or more time to simply sit at the gate and watch the planes take off, filled with anticipation for the adventure to come. A smooth start at the airport sets a wonderful tone for your entire trip. When you begin your journey feeling calm, confident, and in control, that positive energy carries through, making you a more open and resilient traveler. I hope these friendly pointers help you on your next trip. Remember that every journey is a collection of small moments, and making each one a little better adds up to a much happier travel experience. Share these tips with your friends and family because when we all travel a little smarter, the entire system becomes more pleasant for everyone. The goal is not just to get through security, but to start your adventure with a smile, feeling like a savvy, seasoned traveler. So as you plan your next escape, whether it's to the grand capitals of Europe or a quiet beach closer to home, remember that a great trip begins long before you board the plane. It begins with the thoughtful packing of a bag and a confident walk through the security line. Keep these ideas in your back pocket, and you'll be well on your way. Happy travels, and be safe.